Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
We begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Series of mixed colors. Song of General Kim Il-sung. 쓰는 밀, 카레스, 성읍 제너럴 김성일.
Kim Jong-un, first Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, first Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, appreciated, together with Lee Seol-ju, the performance of the Morambong Band at the April 25th House of Culture on March 22nd. Appreciating the performance were Chair Yong-hae and other senior officials of the party and army and service persons of the People's Army. The moment respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un came out to the auditorium, all the audience warmly welcomed him, raising stormy cheers of hurrah. Put on the stage were colorful items, including female chorus, Joy of People, female solo and pangchang, Warm Feelings, female duet and pangchang, Our Father, female quartet, We Cannot Live Without Him, and female chorus, We Know Nobody But You. When the performance was over, Kim Jong-un warmly waved back to the enthusiastically cheering audience. Respected Kim Jong-un, first Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, first Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, gave field guidance to the Ryugyong Dental Hospital and the Ongyu Children's Hospital. He was accompanied by senior officials of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. Respected Kim Jong-un made the rounds of the diagnosis and treatment room, first aid treatment room, dental craft room, dental prosthesis room, and different other places of the Ryugyong Dental Hospital, and learned in detail about the medical service and management. He kindly asked how many patients visit the hospital a day, how the facilities provided by the party are working, if medicines are supplied properly. Seeing patients and their families waiting in the lobby and the patients under treatment, he kindly asked for what treatment they came and what they are suffering from, and told doctors to give good treatment to them. Pressing hands of all the persons expressing great thanks, saying they are receiving medical treatment without paying a penny in the palatial hospital built thanks to respected Marshal Kim Jong-un, he warmly wished them good health. He said that as he saw many people in the hospital, he could know that medical service activities are brisk, and added with pleasure that it is very good that the Ryugyong Dental Hospital was built. Told that the hospital is enjoying great popularity of people, though it is not long after its inauguration, respected Marshal Kim Jong-un said the party had built the Ryugyong Dental Hospital not to introduce that we have a dental hospital of world standard, but to let the people enjoy all benefits of socialism in good health. He acquainted himself in detail with the material and technical foundations of the hospital and the problems arising in treatment of patients, and said the party would send computers, vehicles, and others necessary for informationization of medical service and management, and solve all problems arising in the management of the hospital. He stressed that the medical workers of the hospital should steadily improve their techniques and skills, and take good care of the medical equipment and apparatuses like the apples of their eyes. Respected Kim Jong-un also visited the Ongyu Children's Hospital. At the hospital, he learned in detail from officials of the hospital if they have any difficulties in the management and medical service activities. He said the Ongyu Children's Hospital had been built for the children to grow up without any illness, and kindly solve then and there the problems arising in the management of the hospital. Respected Kim Jong-un expressed the belief that the Ryugyong Dental Hospital and the Ongyu Children's Hospital would take the van in demonstrating the validity and vitality of the party's health policy and the socialist public health system. Respected Kim Jong-un received a gift from the President of the Republic of Tatarstan of the Russian Federation. The gift was handed over to Kim Yong-nam, President of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK on 22nd by President Rustam Minnikhanov, with a request to convey to Kim Jong-un. Rustam Minnikhanov, President of the Republic of Tatarstan of the Russian Federation and his party, visited the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun and paid tribute to the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on the 22nd. They paid noble respect to their full-length statues. They earned the halls of immortality and expressed humble reverence to Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, who are laid in state there. They attentively looked around the rooms, keeping their decorations and cars, electric car, ship and wagons they used during the field guidance and foreign tour till the last days of their life. The President wrote in the visitor's book that he pays respect to Kim Il-sung, founder and President of the DPRK, and Kim Jong-il, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, who are outstanding statesmen. Great generalissimus Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il will be remembered forever for their exploits in laying a solid foundation for the development of friendly and cooperative relations between Russia and Korea, he added. The Russian Public Circus Preparatory Committee and the Spanish Preparatory Committee for celebrating the Day of the Sun were formed in Moscow on the 13th and in Barcelona on the 17th. The preparatory committees decided to organize meetings, seminars on exploits, photo exhibitions, and other political and cultural events praising the noble revolutionary life and immortal exploits of the great leader Kim Il-sung on the occasion of his birth anniversary, the Day of the Sun. Chung Ki-byul, editor-in-chief of the Chinese internet newspaper Fourth Media, residing in the United States, warmly congratulated respected Kim Jong-un on his election as deputy to the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK. He said the recent election of deputies to the Supreme People's Assembly represents the Korean people's desire to carry on the socialist cause without slightest vacillation and deviation, with a might of single-hearted unity only around Kim Jong-un. Thanks to Kim Jong-un, a brighter future is opened on the road ahead of the Korean people. The people-centered socialist system unknown in human history will be more prosperous under his seasoned leadership, and the building of a prosperous, reunified country be realized in near future, he added. The 29th April Spring Friendship Art Festival will be held in Pyongyang, capital of the DPRK, on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, auspicious common holiday of mankind. The festival will be participated in by art, dance, and circus troupes of dozens of countries of the world, involving national and international concours winners and well-known artists, as well as art troupes of overseas Koreans and Korean artists. Kim Yong-nam, President of the Presidium of the Supreme Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK sent a message of greetings to Mamnoon Hussain, President of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, on 22nd, on the occasion of the Day of Pakistan. Kim Yong-nam, in his message, wished the President and people of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan greater success in their efforts for the independent development and prosperity of the country. He expressed the conviction that the traditional friendly and cooperative relations between the two countries would continue to be developed in the future. That day, DPRK Premier Park Bong-joo sent a message of greetings to Pakistani Prime Minister Mian Muhammad Nawaz Sharif. Director Chad Yong-ke of the General Political Bureau of the Korean People's Army made a field survey of the satellite scientist street under construction. Looking around different places of the construction site, he understood in detail the progress of the project for carrying out the order of the respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un, and underscored the need to build the street to be flawless even in distant future, and for the institutions concerned to fully supply the equipment and materials for construction. The science and technology are widely disseminated in the Three Revolution Exhibition House. Rooms for dissemination of science and technology were newly installed in the section exhibition halls. In the halls of electronic industry, heavy industry and agriculture, multimedia programs including three-dimensional scientific and educational films and scientific films and other materials are available for better understanding of science. In the New Technology and Innovation Hall, exchange of advanced and intellectual products is promoted, and special service for technical data of local and international patents rendered on the occasion of the scientific and technological festivals and local and international fairs and exhibitions. It helps the officials, school youth and children, and working people deepen their knowledge of science and technology. Rustam Minnihanov, President of the Republic of Tatarstan of the Russian Federation, and his party returned home by air on the 22nd. A delegation of the DPRK Ministry of Public Health, led by Minister Kang Ha-guk, left Pyongyang by air on Saturday to attend the 7th meeting of the Southeast Asian Regional Transformation Committee for Eradication of Infantile Paralysis of the World Health Organization, to be held in New Delhi, India. The South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People, in an editorial on the 20th, deplored the reality of the South Korean society steeped in U.S. worship and flunkism. It said the South Korean society has now a misunderstanding that the United States is an advanced state. Four organizations of Belarus, including the Communist Workers' Party, the National Fellowship Association with Korean People, named after Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and the Social Federation for the Union and Union's Communist Party, issued a joint statement on the 16th in support of the statement of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK. The statement said the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, in its statement, urged the United States to withdraw its hostile policy towards the DPRK, terminate nuclear threat and blackmail to Korea, and stop at once the groundless human rights racket. The statement expressed the support to the statement of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK and demanded the United States no longer interfere in the internal affairs of Korea. And that's the end of the news, read by Cha Jung-nam. This is Voice of Korea. The daily Rodong Sinmun on Sunday carried a commentary under the title, "The United States Should Not Misjudge." The commentary said, recently, Chief of the General Staff of the U.S. Army, R.D. Erner, referring to the issue of the Korean Peninsula, said the greatest concern is the possibility of the outbreak of war by misjudgment, and added that the United States should do its best to prevent it. Now the Korean Peninsula is in such a situation as a powder flask, which may explode any moment by a spark. The situation is repeatedly aggravated, and the danger of the outbreak of war is increasing in the Korean Peninsula. The main responsibility for it rests on the United States and the hostile forces, who are making frantic efforts to find a pretext for provoking a new war while staging aggressive war drills ceaselessly. During the key resolve and Third Eagle joint military exercises now underway in South Korea, the United States is applying the dangerous plan for jointly coping with local provocations and tailored deterrence strategy worked out with the South Korean authorities and verifying their effectiveness. It clearly proves that the current joint military exercises are offensive ones to invade the DPRK. far, the situation of the Korean Peninsula has been brought to the brink of war many a time, but it has not developed into war thanks to our patience. The war maniacs should not misjudge our self-control and patience. We have already announced that the United States is the main target of our diversified nuclear striking means. If the United States ignores our warning and follows the road of war provocation, the Iranian people will mercilessly smash any provocation of the aggressors are currently stressed. That was the commentary under the title, "The United States Should Not Misjudge," carried in the daily Rodong Sinmun on Sunday. This is Voice of Korea.
Now, you will hear the song Green Pine on Namshin, written by Kim Hyung-sik, an indomitable revolutionary fighter and outstanding leader of the anti-Japanese national liberation movement in our country in 2007 or 1918.
der anti-japanischen nationalen Befreiungsbewegung Koreas in der
Here is dance music, 성읍 만경대. Professional female soul in Pangchang, the Sumit Yongsan School. female carriage at the foot of Bangpa Hill. colors, we entrust our destiny and future to Kim Jong-un. Enjoy an orchestral music, The Road of Victory.
election of deputies to the 13th Supreme People's Assembly was successfully held amid the high political enthusiasm of all the service personnel of the army and people in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The election held during the advance of the new century of the Chulche year powerfully demonstrated the firm conviction and will of the Korean army and people to win the final victory of the revolution under the leadership of the Great Party. Encouraging the Korean people advancing with firm confidence, foreign listeners continue to send their letters to Voice of Korea. Indian listener Aishwarya Mohanty and Libyan listener Abdul Karim Ahmed Ali sent letters wishing Korea greater prosperity this year. Judge Ronald Nablo of Canada, a regular listener to Voice of Korea, informed us of the specific condition of the recent reception of our broadcasting and wrote, "It is still inspiring to hear the DPRK patriotic song and the song of Kim Il-sung, as well as a little news and music." And he did not forget to write, "Long live Kim Jong-un, the Supreme Leader of Korea," as before. The listeners also expressed their impressions on our programs in their letters. Sanjit Biswas of India in a recent letter wrote, "I am a regular listener to Voice of Korea. Your reception is nice in Kolkata. The English programs of VOK are excellent. News, current affairs, interview, musical prelude are my favorite programs. This is the great source for me to know more about your beautiful country." Italian listener Marco Piseglie sent a letter enclosed with reception report. In the letter he wrote, "Dear sirs, I have the pleasure to send you the reception report for your broadcast in English received here in Italy. I'll follow regularly your transmissions. The signal is very good here in Italy." American listener Richard Angelo sent a letter as well as a reception report in which he wrote, "It is with great pleasure that I write to tell you that I have heard your radio station, Voice of Korea. Please accept this report of my reception of Voice of Korea. I've been a shortwave listener for 45 years. Listening to shortwave radio is my hobby. I enjoy listening to foreign radio stations on shortwave. I hope this report will be of value to you." And American listener Matthew Zoma, Indian listener Aishwarya Mohanty, Italian listener Di Bono Francesco, and many other listeners sent sincere reception reports on our broadcasting. We express thanks to Judge Ronald Nablo of Canada and other listeners. Your reception reports and letters gave great encouragement to the Voice of Korea and its staff members and the Korean people. In the future, too, Voice of Korea will raise voice of justice for you aspiring after a peaceful new world. Goodbye. Please wait for the next time. You've been listening to our regular program, Listeners Mailbag. This is Voice of Korea.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 6,185 kHz and 9,850 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa, between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa, between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South America, between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 6,170 kHz and 9,435 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.